team right now?
One right now.
One right now.
With Sione being done.
Awesome. So anyway, Coach Jay, it's your show, my friend.
Well, guys, thanks for having me. We're just going to talk about some O-line culture stuff, some stuff that we're going to be, expanding, offensive wide here as I take over this role and tweak. And then at the end, we'll go through some O-line fundamentals. They may fit you, they may not. We're a zone and a power-based team, so and we throw the ball a little bit. So, Coach Brantley, if you want to just close your eyes and not pay attention on the pass set stuff, I think that's perfectly acceptable. But you guys see that okay? So awesome. So, we have a program mantra here, and it is STEP. And so STEP stands for smart, tough, enthusiastic, and persistent. And those are the four things we ask of our men. We want them to play smart, play with toughness, play with enthusiasm, and play persistent. We also use the word relentless instead of persistent. But stir doesn't sound as good as step on the marketing materials, so we stick with step in public, and we use relentless with our guys. How we play smart as the offensive line, we understand the how and the why of our fundamentals. For big guys, the more I do this, the more I coach the offensive line, the more I believe, stance, first step, the basics of the basics are what allow you to be successful. Because if you don't get a good stance, don't get a good first step, no matter what you do after that, it's just going to be a tie. So we try to teach the how and the why of our fundamentals, so guys understand the importance. We focus on the fundamentals. The 4 drills we'll talk about later in the presentation are things we do every day, whether it's pre-practice or in during indie time or in between big drills or stuff like that. We're going to focus on them. And then understand game situations, how they affect you. For us, hey, if it's 3rd and 10, let's get in 2-point stances so we can see, blitz pickup, things like that. Or hey, it's goal line. Let's cut our splits down. Let's cheat up, crowd the line of scrimmage, and get off the ball. Toughness. Toughness is something we're working on a lot this offseason. We lost in the quarterfinals this past year, and it was a unique experience for us. The first time we've lost in the quarters since I think 2015. And at times, we played relentless, but we weren't tough enough. We certainly weren't tough enough up front on the O-line. I was playing with a bunch of older seniors, and whether they were wore down or whatnot, we weren't tough enough in the end. So we talk about playing through the whistle, the echo of the whistle. It doesn't mean being dirty, but you can finish a guy, you finish a guy. And if you're in the act of finishing guys, the whistle goes, you might as well just finish it. Set that tone. Protection is personal. This one's huge. I'm an older brother. I want my offensive linemen to view skilled guys as their younger brothers. Protective instincts are incredibly powerful. And so we ask those guys to look at it that way, to be an older brother, protect them going in the sidelines, getting them back to the huddle, all those things, but take it personally. And then finish everything you do, finish every drill, finish every play. And we talk about finishing and stressing that. And then when that carries over into academics as well, you do well in your first 2 tests and then you get D on your 3rd test, you end up with a C in the class. That's not good enough. And so, finishing is part of being tough, both on and off the field. Enthusiasm, love what you do. I truly believe being an offensive lineman or playing in the trenches is a lifestyle. It's not a position. It's not something you play. It's kind of who you are. Love what you do and love who you are in the process. And I think mental health is such a big umbrella we're talking about in classrooms and in college and in the world these days. But a lot of that comes back to to an extent, kids aren't loving themselves. They don't love who they are or who they're spending time around. And if we can do that within our classroom or within our team, embrace who you are, embrace, the linemen. And I know Coach Davis calls the O-line the Kings. I think that stuff's great. There's power in names. And making that stuff prevalent is important because there is no stats for offensive line. We have to be the most selfless guys on the team. And then be ready to work every day and embrace that. I say to my guys, hey, let's put on our hard hat. Let's grab our tool belt. Let's go to work today. And that's part of our enthusiasm. Practice is not easy for O-line. It's either walk through or here we go. Right. I mean, even if it's a shells day or a helmets only day, we're still getting punched. We're still doing those things in the trenches, and that stuff's important. Persistent or relentless, never quit. There's a difference between being tired and worn out and quitting. If you physically can't go anymore, you didn't quit. Protection's personal. That's persistence. Like if you get beat, flip your hips, run a guy by. Or you're getting out leverage on a reach block, run your feet, cover them up, give the running back a chance. But that's protection's personal, then always believe. When we lost in the semifinals a couple of years ago, we were one shoulder turn. A receiver looks over his left shoulder. If he looks over his right shoulder, we win the game on a Hail Mary. And we fought it out. We were relentless. We protected to the end, and that was really, really important. But I mean, that's always believe is part of being relentless, and good things are going to happen. There's a story Coach Ryan told me years ago. I use with my guys all the time, and this farmer, his farmland's dry, nothing's growing. And he got told there's a well underneath this big rock. First farmer comes away, hammers away at the rock, nothing happens. He's broke. He sells the land to the next farmer. Said, "Good luck, son." That guy, hammers away at the rock. Nothing happens. Sells it to the third farmer. Third farmer takes one swing of his hammer, rock splits in half, water comes out of the well, and he's got fertile farmland and the crops are growing. Okay, always believe good things are going to happen. Okay, my philosophy. I believe all best offensive lines in the country have their own culture, and the culture is built over time. It's not something you walk in and this is the way things are going to be, and the next day it's there. It's a living, breathing organism, and it's holistic. It's on the field, it's off the field. It's your conversations, one-on-ones with the guys, having those discussions about things you want to see, things you don't want to see, how you want to treat guys, and all that. On the field, I think it's built from the ground up. There's one exception to this, I will say that, but we're working footwork constantly. Great first step. Body position, hand placement, strike, all those things. Eyes lead the body, but we're working ground up. Footwork first is huge, and body position, huge. Off the field, it's just the opposite. We're working top down. We're teaching our kids to watch film, what to look for. I'm assigning guys one-on-one matchups. Hey, you're going to face this DN 60% of the time. What's his top 2-3 moves? What is important? Give them ownership in the offense, give them ownership in their role, and you'll have, I think, a higher level of buy-in. And then also, eating right, take care of your body, and then getting after in the weight room. That kind of wraps that up. As I said before, offensive lines and opposition is the lifestyle. Then my 5 core values for the O-line are communication, family, passion, responsibility, and toughness. We'll go into those here coming up. So communication, key to success for the O-line. We like to say, hey, we're all wrong, we're all right. So if our call and our system goes in wrong, as long as our 5 guys up front are all doing the same thing, we're not going to have a negative play. It may not be a great play, but it's not a lose-lose situation. We got to be able to communicate to adapt up front. We very rarely see the defense that we prep for. I'd say only about 30% of the time. Otherwise, someone throws something weird at us. We saw radar 2 games this year. I can't remember the last time anyone talked about radar at a coaching clinic, but we saw the radar defense. And then communication on and off the field. My guys know, hey, I got 2 meeting times a day. I don't care which one you come to, just get there. But communicate. If you're going to be late or a professor needs to see you or we need to have a one-on-one meeting, just communicate. Text me. We all live in technology. A technological world, email, whatever, doesn't matter, just communicate. Family. This one's huge. The success of the offensive line depends on how well 5 individuals act as one unit, one brain. I have to get 5 guys to all think exactly how I think or how I see things for us to be successful. Every member of the team is a brother, but the O-line group must be family on and off the field within the brotherhood. I chuckle at this as half my room plays Fortnite, half my room plays Call of Duty. You mix them up again, half my room is country fans, half my room is rap fans. Those 4 groups are never the same group. They argue over it, but they're a core group and they enjoy, their disagreements. They have some fun with it. The closeness of these bonds, trust in one another, will contribute to the group's ability to handle and overcome adversity. Man, we have faced some adversity this year. I lost my starting center twice to injury. We moved the tight end to tackle because of performance and just made us a better group. So we had to deal with, seniors that went from starting to not starting. If I didn't have as tight a group, it wouldn't have gone as smoothly. Not saying it was smooth, but, we didn't have anyone walking out of practice. I didn't deal with any issues like that because they all cared about each other and they kind of knew what was going on. They didn't have to like it, but they kind of knew what was going on and whatnot. So family is huge within the O-line group. Passion. The best offensive lines have passion for what they do, who they are, and the people around them. My guys, I'll be honest, they didn't love our starting quarterback. Our starting quarterback was kind of an asshole. Really good, 2-time National Player of the Year, extremely gifted, but he was an asshole. They loved the backup. Backup's a great guy. Every single time he got a ball off in games, he was saying, thanks, guys. Thanks for giving me time. But they had passion for what they do. They protected the first guy just as much as they protected the backup. And they love being offensive linemen. I mean, there's nothing better than our guys. Their favorite thing to do is, hey, as a group, let's go to Pizza Ranch, close that place down, eat them out of pizza. To the point where we can't go to one of the pizza ranches here in town because we eat too much. So, passion for who we are. If you have a passion for what you do, there will be a desire within a person, a desire to be great, a desire for your team to be great, and a desire to be the best. You can't make someone be the best. You gotta find it within yourselves. And at times this year, I'll be honest, we didn't have the desire to be the best. We just wanted to be the best. And there's a difference. And I think I have to do a better job of, pressing my guys in that right direction and then be quicker to pull the trigger on certain guys when they're just like, I'm okay with being good. Because that's not our expectation here at Morningside. Our expectation is to play for national championships. Our expectation is, I want guys that want to try and be All-Americans. And I have to do a good job when a guy's just like, I'm fine. Complacency will kill a program. And at times this past year, we dealt with a little bit of that. And it's a learning thing for me. And now taking over an offense, we're putting a focus on finding out who wants to be great and who's okay with being complacent. Responsibility. It's the individual's responsibility to do his job so the group may succeed. Offensive line, right? You have 4 guys do it perfectly, 1 guy bust, quarterback sack, or TFL. Okay? All 5 guys have to do their job. A receiver can dog it on a backside route. Or a backside tight end, maybe it doesn't get a cutoff, but it's sweep the other way. That's fine, right? You get away with things like that. Up front, O-line, we can't do that. And then just talking about that, yeah, it's important. It matters. Being responsible matters. And to the point where my guys, like when they bust in practice and I don't catch it, oh, hey, you're going to see it on film. That's my bad. I missed it. I'm like, okay, play it. Let's go. Move on. Next play. Flush it. Play next play. We'll get it fixed. But, own up to your mistakes. Good things happen rather than trying to hide it and hope no one sees it. Toughness. There's nothing easy about playing offensive line. Every day you have to bring your best, give it your all. Truly believe that. Okay? You got to go. You got to compete. You got to love to compete to play offensive line. You can't just be okay with one win and go back to line and hang out with the boys. Okay? The best offensive linemen, I've had an All-American every year I've been here. They've been the guys that I have to pull from practice. We have to give them time off. They're not asking for it, but because they just want more. And they want the best matchup they can get over and over and over again. Life, much like football, is not easy. Developing the ability to continue to push through whatever is thrown your way is invaluable. And I know you guys deal with a lot of different situations than what I deal with in terms of a high school environment and versus a college environment. But you have to learn to have a spine. You have to learn to have a little dirt in your neck to not just be like, play victim. You have to learn to work through some of that stuff. And we're losing some of that in our culture today. And it's something Coach Ryan puts a big emphasis on. And we have to put a bigger emphasis on offense here is, hey, you get punched in the mouth, that's fine. Dust yourself off. You better be swinging back twice as hard. And that's who we're going to be offensively here. Okay, characteristics I look for in my guys, and killer mentality. You get a chance to bury someone, and you have to talk about it. You have to stress the importance of it, because you bury a guy in one play, you better believe he's going to be thinking about it next time he feels he feels himself starting to go backwards. Okay, that adds up over time. Have to have that killer mentality, the attitude and swagger. Now, I'm not a guy who's, wants my O-line, bunch of wristbands, calf bands, swag, whatever. To me, this is roll your shoulders back. I'm a badass. I'm going to kick your butt, get up and down the field, and just physically beat you. And when I'm beating you by 20, 30, 40, I'm not going to talk shit. I'm going to just point at the scoreboard. There's nothing more demoralizing than someone talking in your face, you not saying anything back, pointing at the scoreboard, and you're down by 30. Like, that's just how I want my guys to beat. Okay, discipline. Don't take penalties. Okay, we're always the favorite. In games we play, we are always the favorite. People are going to talk and all that. Just stand there and take it. Okay, fierce competitor. Love to compete. Love to get after it. That's important. You got to want to win your job and continually win your job. Not, hey, I got top of the mountain. This is it. Okay, how we get better on the field. This is mental and physical mastery. So this is how I kind of do practice. When we do a lot of things, it's 2 huddles going at once, alternating, or we'll go drives with the first group and drives with the second group. Guys that are in there standing behind me, typically the center's is in my hip pocket. The other guys are kind of around them. I expect my centers going through their calls and checks as I'm, almost like a running commentary. One of my older guys used to joke, my first year of practice, it sounded like I was hosting a talk show, because it's just a constant commentary about what we were seeing, what was going on, and all that. If we're not getting physical reps, we're getting mental reps. Get your water, get all that, but you're standing behind, watch the guy in front of you, get reps. We are a reps program. So when we're in work periods, we're getting as many reps as we can get. And then we will have teach tempo periods where we'll slow down, we'll physically walk through things, hand placement, first step, where are my eyes, what's it going to look like this week, all those things. But they are 2 very different tempoed periods, and our guys know the goals of those periods because we've gone through it in meetings before practice, or it's kind of become the same, same kind of format, because we're really big on staying on schedule. Pre-practice, other built-in breaks, work specific techniques and situations. If we're working more square pulls this week because we're on A-gap power, pre-practice, I'm going to give guys, hey, make sure we get 2 pulls each way for square pulls so we don't have to waste practice time doing it. Or, we use when the offense does skelly for us, I'm doing blitz pickup with the scout D line and my guys. It's about a 50% period, picking up blitzes, picking up stunts. If it's hot during fall camp stuff, we'll even take helmets off. We just want to win with our feet, move our feet, all that kind of stuff. It's real slick, but we're working specific situations. And then emphasize the importance of not wasting your rep. We get a crap ton of reps in practice. Don't waste one. Just because you're guaranteed to get a lot, don't waste them. And guys have to understand the importance of that. How we get better off the field. Don't tell me, show me. Everyone, we deal with this kids. Hey, I'll make sure I'm there 3 days a week. Actually show up 3 days a week. Our older guys, we'll mentor 1 to 2 young guys, depending on how many freshmen I come in, how many old guys I got. Kind of big brother, big sister programs, things like that. So they have someone to go to. During meetings, guys sit in the order they play. So my center sits in the middle. He's both guards on each side of them and the tackles outside of them. My first group is in one part of the room. My second group's, either behind them or off to the side. My third, my fourth group kind of fill in behind. So guys learn how to hear out of the side of the ear that they play. And there's some biomedical stuff with it. It's above my pay grade. I learned it from my previous boss at the University of Dubuque, Drew Nystrom, who's a bio major. It's he knows that stuff. I'm an economics guy. It works. That's all I can say. It's worked for my guys. I love it. Teach guys how to watch film. And then my guys actually have film watching parties. So Thursday night, they'll go through our top runs. I have my top runs done by Thursday at noon. They get them Thursday night. They will go through them as a group. They'll go to someone's house or whatever. They'll go through the clips. And then I assign, like we talked before, I assign certain guys to watch certain things to make sure I'm not missing things, but also, give them a little responsibility and a feel for the game plan. And then we're big. We talk through our whole practice every day with our guys in meetings before practice. So, at a high school level, or maybe you don't have pre-practice meetings, maybe you kind of send out the schedule or something like that, just so we're efficient on the field. Guys know what's up that day and what our emphasis is, and we go from there. Okay, how we get better in the off season. How good do you want to be is kind of the motto. Continue to work mastery of on-the-field techniques. We work our Indy a couple days a week, very basics. Our strength staff does a great job. Our big guys are on a slightly different weight program than our little guys. And our strength staff does a phenomenal job developing how explosive our big guys can be in a 10-yard box is kind of our mindset. I'll have meetings throughout the offseason using game and practice video to fix and correct mistakes with some of my guys. It's a meeting every week or every other week, 15, 20 minutes, nothing crazy. You talk about technique tweaks and things like that. When I had my old office, it was a classroom, so I could just push the chairs back and we'll get down to work there. My new office, I'm gonna have to sneak over to the classroom and find some place to do some of that stuff now. So, and then off-season work, and then summer working together, lifting together in the weight room, working together in the summer, spending time around each other. Stress the importance of that. Okay, weight room. I studied North Dakota State. Charles Bentley's kind of fallen off in terms of, I think he's consulting with NFL teams now, but some of his technique stuff, O-line Performance Lab, some of that stuff is on, Twitter or YouTube. I think it's great, great stuff for some fundamental stuff. I apply it more to my techniques and going, exactly what they do, but it's good stuff. We talk about position-specific lifts and agility. My guys are jumping rope all the time for foot speed, just better feet. You can never have good enough feet if you're a big guy, so we're jumping rope and we're doing ladders. We compete in everything. The O-line, in terms of we're competing in grades, so GPA improvement over your either your average GPA as you get older, or if you're a young guy beating your first semester GPA, you want to beat it as a second semester GPA. Competing in the weight room in the off season, we have off season teams that compete against each other for percentage gains, or if I got a guy that's got to lose weight, he's competing against someone who's got put on weight. Competition isn't always fair, but it's a great way to motivate guys. And then the competition is where we talk about that killer mentality. If you got that killer mentality in the weight room, that will lead to a killer mentality on the field. I truly believe that. I didn't as a player. I didn't as a young guy. But as I got older into college, my senior year of college, I started to understand it, got into the coaching profession, really understood it. Wish I would have understood it younger as a player. And it's a great thing I talk to those guys about. Okay. These are 70% of our drills that we do, 70% of our Indy time is spent on these 4 drills. Everything else I consider like a fix-it drill. So we're going to see a certain stunt this week. Well, we're going to work against that stunt. Or, our hands have been really, really bad this week for whatever reason. We're just not punching. We'll do that. We'll fix it. But 70% of what we spend any time on are these 4 drills. And do simple better. It's a line from Nick Saban. The simpler you can be, the faster you can play, the more explosive you can play. So do simple better. First thing is fit progression. So it's a 4-step progression. The first one is fit and pop, then fit and drive, fit and replace, and then fit and redirect. So we'll get to the video I'll be able to get this presentation to you if you have details. So just fit and pop, fit position, tight elbows, bending ankles, knees, and hips. Just want to pop and explode. And yes, my starting left tackle toss my starting right tackle on the ground. You're looking for triple extension. You're looking for this right here. You want to get that full extension, okay, from that triplet, from the flexion in ankles, knees, and hips. Okay, now this is going to fit and drive. So nose on the breastplate. Okay, driving, keep those elbows tight. Finish. Okay, a little different athlete here. Not as good an athlete, shorter legs, driving the feet, tight elbows, tight hands. We're driving for 10. Okay, now this is fit and replace, excuse me. Starts with his hands outside the defender's hands. And then on the command set hut, driving. When I say replace, he replaces one at a time and punches and finishes the drill. Okay, same drill. I love this clip because watch, Riley is going here. Watch his hips drop when he replaces. He gains leverage. Now he's a leaner. Riley's a little top heavy. You got to continue to work on that. But he's one at a time, drops his hips. That's what we like to see. Okay, now fit. And this is fit and redirect. So as we're driving, I'll give a direction that we're going to redirect on my command. And then we're playing long with that left hand, playing long with the right hand, excuse me, pulling with the left hand, turn that shoulder to stay square. That's better on the replace. The redirect, being violent with the hands, working to stay square. Right there, push off that backside leg, play long with it, fight pressure. Okay, so a little practical application. Okay, watching my left tackle here. He left us last year. He grad transferred. He's the starting right tackle at Idaho now, Jason Hallback. He's just going to cruise his down block down right here. He's going to go take 5 for a ride. So this is fit, basically how practical application of fit progression. Step checks, hands inside, finishes it for the touchdown. Okay, similar, same thing. We're looking at Jason, the left tackle, going back on 5. We're on a little 6-man power here. Now Jason would get a little greedy, try and block 2 guys at one time. So just staying on 5. Finishing with violence. Okay. Now I got a 4-eye. Got to be aggressive. Going to walk him off the line of scrimmage. This against Carroll up in Montana. A little narrow in his base, but great get off. Running his feet, tight hands. Pries open the hole. Okay. Next run drill, step punch drive. Okay, you can use this for zone or gap. We do it with 2 lines to the right, 2 lines to the left, center angle departure. First command, take a first step, reload, and then get off the ball. First set, I'm just looking for a good angle and good pad level. Second command, fire off the ball, explode down the board, driving defender down the board, violent strike. First step, reload, get off the ball. And we're a run off the ball team. So I call it a duck run, however you want to do it. going to the right. And I'd like to point out, don't need fancy boards. Sometimes you just need a little 2x10. We're a little old school around here. You know, with the price of lumber these days, the plastic might actually be cheaper. So if anyone wants to donate to the Morningside Boards Fund, just let Coach Davis know, and he's got my Venmo. So that would be much appreciated. So now come put a defender in front. First set, checking angle departure, eyes, hips, good. We're going right down the board. Reload, get down the board, strike. Love the punch here, violent, low to high, finish. Okay, I'll point out Tristan here. Okay, he's working low hands, low to high on punch. He keeps them low for a step because he has a tendency to punch high. We're really working low to high on a punch, so he keeps him down there. That's a guy working something we talk about. That's what we look for in practice. Good, angle departure. Get off and go. Set it, reset, strike. Okay, want to see more violence in our strike. We're actually going to add in this year guys holding med balls. So you learn to punch something heavy. You know, you can talk about taking hits off the chest. That's not the really deal. And so I want them to punch something firm with resistance. They're going to be holding those big soft med balls on their chest, working to punch an awkwardly shaped object, but also striking something firm. Okay, from behind, sets angle departure. Riley's down the board. Okay, talk about practical application. Looking at the left side here, center's got the 1. We're working here up to 44. This is against Jamestown. Steps, he's on his rail, he's taking him, steps, checks. He's going to climb, he's going to take 44, strikes. Okay, go backside here. Sione Tuafua. Step, checks, violent, knocks him over, climbs, looking for work. Okay, now we got some young bucks here. This is a year ago. You know, this is a bunch of sophomores and a freshman tight end. You're going to see bad first step, bad crossover, but you're going to see a dominant block by a freshman taking great footwork. So Riley crosses over. Aiden's got the good base here. Stays square. Great job displacing. The 5 technique. Allows for a good run. Okay, same thing. Looking at the left side here. He's going to take the 5. They're going to insert the backer for the B gap. My left guard, Ty, is going to eat it up. And goal line, okay, this is more of a gap scheme working down. You know, looking at Jason, looking at Sione here on our left side. Talk about displacement on 11. All-American versus All-American. You know, this is to ice the game right here. Northwestern needs to stop. We need to score. Displace. Ices the game. Okay, now. Coach Brantley, if you want to take a nap, here's the pass protection stuff. So this is just want to give you a heads up as a courtesy.
Hey, we do it half a dozen times a game now.
Talk about being progressive, coach. You're moving up.
Getting all liberal on us.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know what to think. I don't want to say it's getting soft down in Soldotna, but I don't know. So down the line, this is how I teach base pass protection right here. We got 4 lines: right tackles, right guard to center, centers, left guards, left tackles. We're going horizontal on the field, so we're using the yard lines as vertical markers, as you'll see. If you got 2 line coaches, you can do it simultaneously. I alternate right, left side so I can see and coach. First rep we'll go through is no hands. We're just matching tempo. We talk about winning our feet, winning with our feet and pass protection. You finish with your hands. Second time we'll go through, hands are live. We're matching tempos. We're just working on a strike. You'll see a 2-hand punch or a 1-2 punch. That's something we kind of feel out with our guys. I'm not a cookie cutter guy by any means. You'll see it with our stances. If guys aren't comfortable, they're not going to be successful. So we work within that. Then the third rep, very similar as first and second, but now they're going to work a counter. So go outside in, inside out, whatever it is, bring your feet, keep good body position. So here's no hands. Okay, whether you put hands behind the back or you keep them, we talk about making a W on your belly button as being a winner. But just matching that tempo, getting good depth, and we are a vertical set team, so we're trying to keep that outside foot on the line. You can work for as much width as getting that inside foot to the line. Okay, what it looks like from behind. Okay, now we're just working our strike. So set. I don't like my left guard here. Okay, we talk about keeping we talk our midline or our tip on the guy's inside hip because we want to force everything out and around. He gets tip to tip right there. I can't see his shoulder anymore. He's getting too wide on his set. So he needs to fix that. Tristan outside here. He's working, staying tight. I'd like a bigger first step, get out of there. But I like where his leverage is. Okay, now we're working counter. Okay, my right tackle opens the hip a little bit inside. He's got to be more firm, keep that helmet inside half, cut it off, make it go back outside. My center here does a good job, gets tip to tip on the center, good, works him back out, get a little spin move, working to run by. Come back to those same pair that were on the left side. I like this from Ty much better. He throws early hand to make the 3 technique work. Catches him inside. Now I can see him. He's tipped to inside hip. I like that relationship. He's cutting it off, making him go back out. Now, Tristan was not a fast guy at all. You're going to see him flip, work to run by early, working to expand the pocket when we go to run by. Something we talked about he needed to work on. He's trying to work it in the drill to develop that feel. Okay, practical application. Left side. Wide rusher, going to be patient, keep it tight on the set, work to run by. Set, lock him out, slide side's good. Okay, talking about my right guard here, Colby Ruse. Okay, he's part of the slide. He's going down. Goes with one hand. Gets to tip to inside hip. One hand. Does a great job going to run by. Just needs to get his pads down. Not a good ball by our quarterback. Okay, now compare to what you just saw in terms of staying square and vertical. This is that young group from 2 years ago. It's going to look like a big semicircle. It's not going to look like a V. We will like the V, not a semicircle. You're going to see some open hips. He's going to get ran by. I think he gets ran by. We complete the pass. but we're not looking for the semicircle. He goes out, opens the hip. We're trying to stay square. We want to always try and stay square line of scrimmage as much as possible. Okay, Ottawa, Arizona. I think this dude started his career at Arizona State. I think this dude started his career at University of Washington. Okay, they were freaky up front. It's a great job by both my tackles. You see Jason, he's very vertical. Goes to run by. Same thing here, Hunter, my 60-gallon oil drum with legs. Might reach a little early, but he's physical with it. Expands him, runs it by. Touchdown. Really good job by Ty right there on the 3 technique. Violent with the hands, expands the pocket, stones him all line of scrimmage. Okay, here we'll focus on the right side. Hunter, not the fleetest of foot guy, gets the run, just runs by. And this is good. At some point, flip your hips, just run by. He locks him out. And then he's on the slide side, my guard, giving a little help there. Center his eyes, looking. He's right there for him. Great twist pickup. We'll talk about twist pickup here in a second. Left side, hip to hip. Great protection. Okay. Going twist pickup, 2 pods, right side, left side, 2 versus 2 pass pro. I'm just making up patterns. Typically I know what the defense we're going to face that week has for what they like. I'll run that one a little bit more, but I don't want them to memorize the pattern. I want them to memorize what it takes to pick it up. So get depth for us. Most time the twist can declare itself early. You'll see it. Always, always, always stop the penetrator. You can always work back to the looper, but the penetrators are the guys that get sacks. And so if you don't stop the penetrator, your quarterback's under pressure faster. You're recovering. That's the straightest, fastest route to the quarterback. You can always recover to the looper. And do not reach. If you reach, you are beat. I will say, my guys, what happens if you reach? They should respond to me. You're beat. So here's the drill set up. I'm just giving them a little pattern. They're picking it up, just working it. This is probably about a 60% drill. If I feel like we're having a lazy start to practice, because this is usually the last drill we do before everything in practice is competition, I might turn it up to 80 because it's either, hey, it's time to wake up, or you guys are pissing me off. We're going to go. Okay, go my left side here. Okay, this is good. I like this. And so I want to hear guys talking during this time. Like, hey, twist, 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 bump, bump, bump. Things like that. Some guys who aren't big talkers will talk with their hands. So what you see here by 74 is he's telling Dilly, my left guard, hey, pressure's coming. I would like to see him give him a little shove, but he tells him it's coming, and so they can pick it up. But as they continue to get depth on the exchange is what I want to see to give some ground. Stop this guy.
Coach, what's your depth landmarks?
Depth landmarks?
Yeah, on your vertical cell.
So our quarterback is at 9. So we want to set our fight lines at about 6.5. Is where we want to just absolutely drop anchor and put our feet in the ground, and at that point, we're getting out. I want 2 big sets, and that's at least probably getting 3 yards off the line of scrimmage before we make contact. So one thing you'll see, and I think this is huge, you'll see from the left guard here, he's going to jump the penetrator. As soon as he knows his guy's the looper, he jumps it, and he's going to bump him. You'll see the full speed of this later, where my guys will literally attack the penetrator.
Do you ever wash the penetrator down and then step behind with the guard?
We do not. It's something we did at my previous school, but with the way our rules work in our base protections, we don't pop anybody or anything like that. So we work to bump.
Thank you.
Okay, so right here, international front of games is what my guys know it as. Double threes, double fives, right? It's third down, probably some version of twist. Look at the left side here. They're going vertical here, up and under with the 5 technique. He reads it, and he's going to jump the crap out of the 3 technique. Okay, slide side, center's there, we're good. Okay, going to go back to the man side on the right. Okay. They didn't pressure out of this front. We had scouted. They hadn't brought one blitz out of this front. Our running back knew to look for games. He decides, he makes a judgment call to step up, wall it all off. Okay, Northwestern here, going to run the double twist. So D tackles are going to loop, and then the D ends are actually going to loop with them. Great job here on the left side. Rides it down. He bumps him, passes it. I'd love to see Ty expand this more on the pickup. Okay, really good here by Ruse on the right side. Jumps it. And then Mason comes in for the second jump just to keep that crap expanded. Okay, national championship game. Okay, double twist in. Really good job here on the left side. He's going to pass it, close it off, and they're going to be violent with it. Okay, interior twist here. Left guard does a good job. Throws 94 over on the center. And we talk about working this. Throw it over. He's sitting there for 92. We're good. Okay, this is what it looks like when you attack the penetrator. Expands him, gets him out of the pocket. Rides it down, sees the game. His eyes are already out because where his eyes are not in, his eyes are going out. He attacks it, expands it. Great window to throw the football. Okay, looking at our right side here, left side defense. Pretty clean pickup, stops the penetrator. Looper doesn't have any chance to get there. Guy from the opposite B going to the C ain't going to get there. Okay, and then once you twist, it basically becomes man protection. Ty does a great job. He passes it off. He just sticks with that guy. Pass it off. He sticks with it, just runs him by. So that's what I got, guys. Questions?
It looks like you're in a half slide with one side of lock, the other side of the slide. How do you pick your slide side?
So we have two calls that put it on the right or left side. My general rule of thumb is if I'm going to play a balanced, what I consider a balanced defense, so a 4-3 or 3-4, I will put the slide to the boundary because that is where the extra defender is. You can also put a 4-4 into that category. If I'm going to play a 4-2, a 3-3, the extra defender is usually to the field. I will put the slide to the field in most cases that week, just based off of what their blitz tendency is. I just want to know where the extra defender is, and so I can have the slide there to answer it. If they're a team that's a safety blitz team, we have one team in our league that will bring safety pressure from the boundary all the time, even though they're a 4-2, because they play with 3 corners. I will put the slide to the boundary just to make sure we're safe, and I trust the back picking up a corner to the field.
So on the lock side, you have to be a 6 tech for you to pick up a back row that side, or how's that work?
So typically, if it's a 3-4, he'll read outside to inside, because we can pick up the inside with our redirect with the guard. If it's a 4 down front, he'll read inside to outside on his scan, just due to threat.
Well, congratulations on the promotion, man. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. It's been
Where's Roe going?
he's going to Indiana Wesleyan as the head coach.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's been good. It's it's trying to reinstill some culture we had when Coach Luters, our old offensive coordinator, was here. Not that Coach Rohde wasn't, invested in it. It's just Coach Rohde and Coach Luters are two very different human beings. Coach Rohde is an unbelievable human being. He's a wide receiver through and through and all that. I'm a box guy. Coach Luters was an outside linebacker. We just view things a little differently. And I'm a walk-on when I was at Duluth. I was a 1-year starter in high school. And Coach Rohde didn't, he was kind of a star. So we have different mentalities, and I've had to work and tooth nail starting as a D3 graduate assistant to get to now. And so I view the world a little differently. And that's some of the changes and discussions we're having now, is assuming this role is, I truly believe that when you're a position coach, your position group takes on your qualities as a coach and a human. When you are a coordinator, your side of the ball takes on your qualities as a human being and as a coach. We have to get our toughness back. We have to get our grittiness back. Number one, because it'll help us compete for national championships and win them. 2, that's who I am. I'm never going to back down in the fight. Never going to be the first one to throw a punch, but you throw at me, you better be sure you can end it, because otherwise I'll end it. And so, those values and whatnot are what we're working on instilling back in our guys in a way, or enhancing in our guys is what I should say. It's been a fun challenge, and I'm looking forward to it. And spring here is going to be interesting because we have to replace a lot of faces, and we have a ton of talent, but I got some young guys that are hungry for their opportunity, and we'll see what they do with it.
Are we going to see Morningside pound the rock a little more?
There might be a little bit of A-gap power in there. Let's put it that way. Maybe not under center, but we'll still throw the ball. But so much of our league has gone to some version of 4-4 cover 3, where to get our boxes back to even numbered runs, we're going to have to throw some 4 verticals and do some vertical stuff. But as soon as you give us even numbers in the box, we ain't going to come away from running the football until you do something stupid. And then we're going to throw it over the top of your head. So much of the way we game plan, and I'll let you guys in on this because I like you guys, and it's Alaska, you're my people, is I'm doing math. if I got 5 blockers, if I can't get the box to be 5-on-5, I got to throw the football. If I have 6 blockers, what 6 am I blocking? Is the 7th guy going to make a play in the run game or the pass game? Then just add another guy. If I got 7 guys, where's the 8th guy coming from? Can I beat him in the run? Can I beat him in the pass? That's how I think about the run game. And we throw the ball to open up the run. We don't run the ball to open up the throw. And so when we're doing math like that, I think it helps us. I think it's simple. And Coach Brantley, I'll be honest, it's the same way you guys do it with creating different gaps. Can they get enough people there to fill every gap I'm creating by inserting 2 backs through a hole? It's just ours is through the air and yours is 14 bodies going through the A gap. So we've all been there. But, you might even see us in the power T this year to run quarterback sneak with the push rule changing. We're going back to that. So we're putting it in for the goal line. I can tell you that right now.
Great goal line package, the whole set of them. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm all for it. Believe me, I am all for it. So, any other questions, guys?
Real quick, one last thing, leadership question for you. You're not the O-line coach anymore, right?
Yep.
What's that like?
It was kind of cool getting this job because I tried to make it my job as the O-line guy, not to just be the O-line guy as the O-line guy. So I got to know some of the wide receivers. I got to know some of the skill kids. And also I was on the sideline the past 4 years. So I'm most likely the guy that had to calm guys down when guys were pissed off or frustrated or too excited and all that. The response I got from the guys when I got the job, I couldn't have imagined it to save the world, the way they responded and how they were happy for me and they were ready to go. And it's just about building bonds and being honest and be who you are. Guys know I'm a tough SOB because that's how I coach my guys. They hear it from me left, right, and center. I am who I am. And for a long time, I'll be honest, in my life, I didn't really want to be who I was at that point. It took me going to Dubuque, being at bottom of the chain, working my way up to be comfortable with who I am. And when you are who you are and honest with the kids, people like authenticity. And when it's real authenticity, they will run through the wall for you and you have to earn it. And that's what I've gotten from my guys is they're excited to fight and run through the wall for me because they know I'm going to shoot them straight and they're ready for it. They know spring's going to be tough. I'm facing a D coordinator that's been D coordinator for 16 years out of, his 19, 20 years here. We're going to have some bad days. And I've told guys, we're going to have some bad days, guys, where I'm not great, but we're going to go down swinging and we're not going to whine about it. We're not going to complain about it. And this is the way it's going to be. And I've had a response from our guys that's telling me I'm doing things the right way. Now, we'll see what happens when it's practice 7. We're getting our ass kicked on goal line day. We're going to find out. But being authentic, being who I am, and being upfront about that, it's made it going from leading an offensive line to leading a group of men that come from different position groups and different values than we have in the Hogs net, the Boar's Nest. It's made it pretty seamless, but it's been a 4-year project, and now I just got payoff on it on year 5.
I like that. Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely, guys. Hopefully you'll see you guys in the summer. Looking forward to it. Maybe year 5, I get actually go fishing this year. So we'll see what happens.
We'll take care of you, Coach. Hey, we'll talk to you, my friend.